Ed's surname in the hot seat there. Shall we kick it off straight in with what are your policies?
Yeah, that's it.
Shall we do it? You got the music?
No, you said not.
Oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I thought we had an agreement that we'd stop doing the music because I hated it,
Yeah.
but I forgot that we hadn't
But that
actually
was
discussed
why-
that. I thought you'd just see my face when I had to play it every time.
All right.
was like, oh,
That's
for
why I like
goodness.
doing it.
Yeah,
because I like
I
seeing your
see.
face.
All right.
Because I hate it as well. Yes. So, what are your policies? In this part of the show, as we've explained to you, Ed, we have a fictional island, Isla de Guapos, which is our it's Cuba, basically. And you are Lord Dictator of the island. You can enact 2 new laws. Any laws you like, anything. You can even repeal laws if you don't like them. If you can repeal laws that exist here and be like, no, we can take that out. But whatever you like, 2 laws.
Okay, I think the outlawing of hypothetical questions.
Fantastic.
No, I think. So we were complaining about our society just now.
Yes.
So I think no small talk.
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah, no small talk. All right.
Yeah.
How? Okay. Yeah. So do you think like you could print out like a daily thing like that guy Zeldin does? Like every day, someone gets like a mail out.
Saying talk
posted
about
to
this.
us, like
do they?
these are your topics for the day.
Oh right.
Or these are your.
No, that sounds
No.
like too much work.
That's it.
Let's go with
you could have the
something
same
else.
topic for everyone.
That's true.
Every
Then that would
day.
become the equivalent of small talk, wouldn't it?
Oh man.
Well, no, isn't small talk just stuff that avoids what's really happening?
Oh, I suppose
Is it? Is it? I
Yeah.
don't know what the definition
I
of small
would.
talk is. but
That's where I
imagine
would
it's
class
something-
it. I'd class it as
Yeah.
like, let's say.
So this would be like medium talk.
This is medium talk.
This is
we
me-
did deep talk earlier.
That's
big
done.
talk.
That's
Is it
me
big
for the day.
talk?
That's me for the day.
I don't think we've done any small talk.
No, I don't think so.
We
No,
talked
we
about
haven't.
buses outside though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
we
okay.
did actually, and I knew it was small talk as I was doing it as well. I
Yeah.
felt awful. I started it as well.
I tried to go.
I mean, it is
I tried
slacking
to
it
go
off.
deeper into it by talking about the economics of the business, but
Yeah, I really tried to change a gear there. I really tried to get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Right, this isn't funny.
Yeah.
Sort of my speciality. But transparency with the government.
Ah, okay.
your government.
That's like a
though.
genuine answer.
This would be your government.
No, like the government of the island.
Yeah,
But you
absolutely.
run it.
But you run it.
Oh, I run it. Yeah,
Yeah.
transparency, because that's easier. Because if you're trying to spend all your time like doing stuff like shady stuff and then hiding it,
Yeah.
you know, I have tried that in my life with other things.
You're over
and
that.
it's easier to just say it, you know.
Just do it. Just to
Yeah.
go, hey,
Oh,
we're doing
but I
this.
suppose you can be transparently bad at what you do.
Yeah, and also, yeah, if you're like selfish, but you're sort of
Yeah.
transparent with it, then
Yeah.
it's not so much of a. They
Yeah.
can't get you on anything else other than the being selfish.
Yeah,
and then
that's
it's like,
slippery.
oh,
A slippery man fully admits what he's up to.
Ah, he's incompetent. Ah, come on now. Yeah, we can't blame him for that.
So that's like a genuine answer, transparency in the
Yeah.
government.
I think that's something it's funny you're talking about that. I've been reading a few things about what was it? I started watching that TV show Stranger Things. Have you
Yeah.
guys this Netflix show? It's quite good show, and they mention a project called MK Ultra, which was something that the U.S. government, the CIA experiment they did back in the
Oh, well, with acid and that.
Yeah, with LSD. They just gave LSD to a whole bunch of people. Some of it solicited, some of it unsolicited. At one point, they drugged one of their agents.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell him until afterwards. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, we slipped some LSD into your coffee. And he like flipped out and killed himself. Like, like this guy. So what's really strange is, and I'm not really big on, I know it sounds like some sort of conspiracy theory thing, but
Yeah.
all of this stuff, I think it's the Freedom of Information Act that they employed in the States, which means that all stuff like this has to be
Oh, it's
released.
declassified, yeah.
But apparently they burnt and got rid of a lot of the files.
Yeah, the guy that ran it just burnt it all.
Yeah, he's just like,
The actual guy that ran it burnt it.
yeah. That says something to me. If he's like
it's
standing
just-
by a furnace and they come in, he's like, nope, and he's
No,
just chucking
yeah.
it in.
Yeah,
No,
that's like a really long, elaborate effort way of just standing up saying I'm guilty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like, just
what
like,
else are you trying to...
it would be easier for you to just be like, I did it, sauce guys.
Yeah.
Here's all
Yeah.
the paperwork. We can work this out. I'm gonna get away scot-free anyway. But yeah, that sort of thing. It's sort of I found quite fascinating and sort of thought like, wow, this is dreadful. I really wish this sort of stuff would come out more, so that we're all like, wow, what are these guys up to? This is
The
nuts.
amount of things that you hear about when it's too late.
Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, sometimes, I'm watching things and it's sort of 20 years after the incident, and I think on one hand, well, at least there's some justice, however late it is.
yeah.
But then it makes you think there's probably so much other stuff we'll never know about
Well, there's so
yeah.
much stuff that happens in the open that no one cares about anyway.
as well.
Yeah.
Which is weirdly glossed over. But then these little incidents where it's like, oh, you lied to us about this weird stuff you're doing in a lab.
Yeah.
But then look at all the stuff that's happening every day. It's
Yeah,
just,
that- yeah,
it's just
it's-
that everyone's
it's sort of
ignoring that because it's been normalized.
Yeah.
Anything that's just slightly weird is just...
I think
yeah.
also potentially it's and in a strange way, I don't want to sound like I'm supporting this idea, but also part of it is that it's kind of remember, there's a huge group of people known as the public,
Yeah.
and if you unleash sort of all of this like horrible stuff on them,
Yeah, yeah.
it'd probably be worldwide panic. Although at
I
the same
don't know
time,
if it will. But more often than not, it
though
would just
maybe,
be like,
although at the same time, I guess if you overload them, then they'd be like, whatever, and then kind of just take it all in.
I think that's a really interesting point. I think that the people running everything,
Yeah.
there's two sides to it. I think they don't want to panic people. I think that's true. But then have you noticed also every 6 months
Yeah.
something will come out, whether it's swine flu or like it's just every 6 months where even this Brexit thing really,
Yeah.
it all keeps us in check.
Yeah,
I think that's more our fault than anyone else's.
Well,
you
how
don't
so?
have
How
to
would you-
watch 24/7 media. You don't have to read the newspapers.
yeah,
It's all like everything. Nothing. If you look outside, nothing's actually changed in the last 3 weeks.
Well, coffee shop's not there.
Yeah.
oh God, Brexit. Coffee shop's out there. It's happening,
I
guys.
mean, for 2 weeks, I was blaming everything on Brexit.
yeah.
But I suppose this is the real sort of after effect. The aftershocks are now being felt.
There's a guy outside in a repo van. I think he's going to take all this stuff as we're
Grab it.
recording. Yeah.
I'm not going to let him take that coffee machine.
No, that's yours, mate. I just love it as we're talking, someone starts disassembling the studio.
That happened to the On FM studio
Oh,
that I
really?
was at. Yeah,
What?
yeah. I travelled up every week for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it was like a 6-hour round trip to do this radio show.
Right.
I'm living in Gloucester. Gloucester is like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Gloucester's known for the work of children's author Beatrix Potter and the work of serial killer Fred West.
Yeah, yeah.
Come to my film, it's a bit in between. Yeah. And so there's nothing happening. So I was happy to travel to London. And then for the last month or so, there was like rumours like is there actually broadcasting on any frequency and things like that, and then
What?
eventually I took leave,
Yeah.
and the next thing I hear is that the equipment was thrown out in the street in the middle of a show.
Thrown
And I
out.
wish I was there. I don't have the footage.
Oh.
So I mean, you joke, but I've been there before.
That's that one that they've actually been like, right, that's it. They just hawk it out onto the street.
Yeah, but it was funny. Yeah.
Just to clarify, I don't think that's what's happening here.
No. But I do think that sounds like something in a Simpsons episode.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just
It is a
halfway-
cartoon episode, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's just like,
Where it was, I think it was in an episode of Simpsons where Bart goes in to get his ear pierced, and there's all these Starbucks coffees popping up in the shopping mall.
Yeah.
He goes in to get his ear pierced, he comes out, and it's a Starbucks coffee. And he's got a coffee in his hand.
You should be killed if you murder someone.
Straight
okay.
away, or like we have now with...
The difficult thing about answering things like this is
Yeah,
that
no,
like,
this is the third law.
the second law.
Oh, was that the second one?
Yeah.
What was the first?
His
The
was
first one was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was
It's government
good point.
transparency.
I
Sorry,
should, I
yeah.
should really start
No, no, no,
pointing
it's
out
not
when
your
I'm
fault.
joking.
It's not your fault.
It is really. It
It's not your
works-
fault.
It would work well in my stand-up.
It's because so many people do joke laws, so I thought it was
Okay.
right, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. What I mean is, I think there's an injustice with someone playing a PlayStation, living in better conditions than some veterans are on the
Yeah.
streets when they've killed someone. And so what that becomes articulated in a sentence is,
Yeah.
I think someone should be killed if they kill someone. But obviously there's more to it than that.
Oh, no,
I'm
of
aware of
course,
that.
of
I'm
course,
aware
of
of that.
course.
And also, did this start out as like an idyllic island?
Oh yeah, the island has gone to hell.
As in,
Okay,
like, as
alright.
in, naturally it's beautiful, but the people will ruin it.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's I guess it's sort of why I kind of went down the dictator, two laws, Cuba route. Is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Cuba is kind of like that in my understanding of it. Anyways, like I know people who lived in Cuba and they've talked to me. They've been like, "Oh yeah, it's horrible." It's
Yeah, I know, they don't.
They're like, it's
Yeah.
the communism and all that stuff. It's just like it's not a very nice place to live. Like. And it's so weird, like, they have all these old cars there. Like, all the engines are stripped and they've been replaced and stuff, but it's just, like, the shell.
Yeah.
This car, like an old 50s, like, car. But, like, yeah, those are really dangerous to drive because they're not very well constructed, those cars. So, like, yeah, it's like that kind of stuff happening where it's a very strange place.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, so it started out kind of idyllic, and then, well, most people have laws like drugs are legal. One of my favorites was drugs are legal for 6 months. And then the second law is that they're illegal for
Right.
6 months. So it's like, and then it counters.
Yeah,
it.
just for winter.
Just for winter. Just drugs in the winter, and then the summer, go out and get some sun, mate. But I quite like. So that's an interesting point about the sort of if you murder somebody, essentially what you're saying is like prisoners shouldn't have it so easy because like the whole idea of that, like you're saying is. If you murder someone, why do you get to have a PlayStation? That's
Yeah,
not-
I mean,
that's
I
not
suppose,
fair.
I mean, and also, I'm assuming they have a PlayStation because of what I hear on the news, which might be embellished, untrue, or have an agenda.
Yeah.
So I suppose what's really inside me in the answer is proper justice.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
essentially, yeah. It's a tricky one though as well, isn't it? Because it's like on the one hand, it's like, well, like I'm trying to be as objective as possible, I guess, and it's like you could be like, oh yeah, no, I'm totally with that, but then it's like, oh yeah, well, who says you have the right?
Well, no,
I
it's
do,
just
because
that-
I'm the dictator.
The whole
mate.
point of the justice system is to remove anger from it, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think in that
It's-
way,
which
it's-
doesn't work when people are reading things and they're going, I want that guy to die now,
Yeah.
because that's not how the justice system works.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes people very angry. I can see why.
Yeah,
But if I knew someone that got murdered, I want the person that murdered him to be murdered as well.
yeah.
But then, I mean, that's no way to live. I don't know. You can't go around just killing people for killing other people, because then somebody's going to kill that person then.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it
It's just chaos.
everyone's wiped out. on
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah. And eventually
Yes.
it's
And then there can only be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the killing of the murderer would be as part
Yeah.
of the agreed justice. So I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Oh, right, yeah. That's
but then,
the law.
But then
You
the
gotta live
idea,
by
I
it.
guess, would be like, well, if you know that that's the case, then you're probably not going to go around murdering people.
That's
well, no,
the idea, I
murder
think.
laws,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
because murder laws don't stop people murdering.
No, that's
Yeah,
true.
because they're not harsh enough.
No, I don't think so. Harsh laws for stuff like murder don't deter genuine either psychopaths
well, I
or
suppose
people
there's
doing it in the
mental
moment.
health
or,
issues and things like
it's
that.
not just that. Even people who are perfectly sane and kill someone, they always think they can get away with it. They don't think I'm going to get caught and I might only get 3 years.
yeah, yeah.
That's true.
They
actually.
genuinely think they'll
It's
get
because
away
they blab.
with it.
Yeah.
That's why they get caught.
They
Oh,
blab, innit? Chatting away.
Chatting away, go down
telling
the
everyone,
pub.
done a murder.
Yeah.
No, you make a good point. All right,
It's-
legalise drugs then.
Oh no!
No.
Totally keep your law there.
Keep your law.
Yeah,
The
no.
whole-
It's
we're
just
not-
an interesting
we're not here
discussion.
To,
it's not
to
to convince you otherwise.
No,
absolutely not.
no. I think it's just nice to open up a discussion about.
Murder.
And it's entirely.